Do you want to know about board games from the Great Depression? Well, now you can.
How'd you get at my house?
I don't actually know. But anyway, you're coming with me. What? Oh, I'm not? Well, too bad. Where are we? Welcome to 1930, where the U.S. is in one of its most economic failures in history, the Great Depression. What do board games have to do with this? Hold on, we're getting there. But first, you need some context. The Great Depression started on October 24th, 1929, from mainly the stock market crash, and later a multitude of problems started popping up, like the Dust Bowls, which made it hard for farmers to grow crops, banks rapidly closing, and factories shutting down due to not enough profit being made. Some of the more bad things that happened was the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act in 1930 and the Bonus Army March, which I won't go into too much detail about, but basically, after World War I, all veterans were promised a bonus 20 years from now. But when the Great Depression occurred, they changed their minds and wanted that bonus now. And after setting up a small makeshift town called a shantytown, Herbert Hoover, the president at the time, eventually used force to get rid of the veterans, which put a real bad reputation on him. Fun fact, I looked it up, only 2 veterans died in the act. So, yeah. Anyway, eventually, the people who were homeless created more of these shanty towns and called themselves Hoovervilles because they blamed Hoover for causing the Great Depression. With all the chaos and financial problems going on, the Great Depression eventually gave an unexpected rise to something unusual. Here it is. Family board games like Monopoly, Scrabble, or even Sorry became super popular during this time because they were cheap or even free if a neighbor would let you copy theirs, and they were very customizable. Sometimes, some were even slightly educational. Take Monopoly, for example. It was originally called the landlord's game, and it even showed players what it felt like to have everything via winning the game. Or it'll have you crushed as you lost everything and could do nothing about it. It was to show people how private ownership and rent paying led to one player in control and owning everything and all the others going bankrupt. Like me. No, wait, please, wait! And the experience of these board games always have a different outcome, which is why they were so beloved back then, some even calling it the golden age for board games. According to this article I found, the original person who created the landlord's game, Lizzie Magie, said that she created the game to teach players about unchecked capitalism, but when Monopoly was sold to the game company Parker Brothers, people just saw it as a board game instead of a way to show the consequences of power. Some less significant games that were made during the Great Depression that were still pretty popular were Sorry, Scrabble, and Life, and just like any other board game at the time, they were cheap, reusable, and a form of escapism. Board games as a whole during the Great Depression was one of many ways to escape the chaos going outside. Other ways were card games and jigsaw puzzles. Scrabble was another game that was used for passing the time during the Great Depression. Scrabble has an interesting case on how it was created. Alfred Mosher Butts, I think I said that right, the creator of the game, originally called the Lexico or the Crisscross Words, said this, quote, "That's the trouble. I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have a job, so I thought I'd invent a game." I want to talk about the creators of some of these board games really quick. Parker Brothers, who I already mentioned, not only advertised Monopoly, they also made games like Bulls and Bears, which is similar to Monopoly in a way, but instead focused on trading stocks to make more money than your opponent. Other games Parker Brothers made were Clue, Risk, Sorry, Trivial Pursuit, Boggle, and Aggravation, and half of those I didn't even know until making this video. Another successful board game company is the Milton Bradley Company, who created games like The Game of Life, Candyland, Battleship, and Operation. These companies made so many classic games, even though Monopoly skyrocketed above all of them. Monopoly played a big role in the board game industry, and not only gave popularity to it, but almost every board game that was made during the Great Depression. In conclusion, board games during the Great Depression like Monopoly or Scrabble provided cheap, reusable entertainment for families who were struggling to put food on the table. And board games today are kind of like that, cheap, reusable forms of entertainment, but there's a lot more options to play. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time.